This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. I am delighted to be here helping you with playing the guitar. In this quick answer episode, I'm going over 11th chords. So these are 7th chords where the 11th is added. That could be a major 7th, a dominant 7th, a minor major 7th, or a minor 7th chord that we're adding an 11th to. The 11th can be the natural 11, otherwise known as the perfect 11, or the sharp 11, which is known as the augmented 11th. So we'll go ahead and dive in. I will mention there are 13th chords. If you're wondering about 13th chords, you can check out my quick answer video on that. There's 9th chords, so if you're wondering about 9th chords, you can check out my quick answer video on that. There's also 6/9 chords, so major and minor 6/9 chords. If you need to know about those, you can check out my quick answer video on those. All of these build onto 7th chords. The 9th, 11th, and 13th chords, they build on 7th chords. So if you don't know about 7th chords, you can check out my quick answer videos on 7th chords, and you can check out any other voicing type you need. You can check out the quick answer videos on those. Okay, I'm going to dive in here. So we got 4 types. We've got the major 7th chord with a sharp 11. We've got the dominant 7th chord with a sharp 11. Now we could technically add the 11th to either of these, the natural 11, but almost always it's the sharp 11 that's chosen for the chords that are major or dominant. Major 7th or dominant 7th. Then the minor major 7th, we can add the 11th to it. We could add a sharp 11, but we almost always add that 11th. And with the minor chords, minor 7th chords, we add the 11th as well. So let's look at the differences between these. They all have the root. That's of course the foundational pitch that the rest are built on. So each one has a root. The major chord has a major third and the dominant chord has a major third. Both of those are major chords. They also both could have a perfect fifth, but they're usually omitted when we're talking about 11ths because the 11th and the 5th are usually on the same string. We usually cannot play both at the same time. So with the major 7th chord, we have a major 7th, and with the dominant 7th chord, we have a minor 7th. That's the only difference between these two. With the minor major 7th and the minor 11th, the difference from these to these is that there's a minor third. Between the two, the minor major 11 has a major 7th, and the minor 11 has a minor 7th. The 11 is just replacing the 7 in the name of the chord because we're adding the 11th on, but we don't go and say, oh, this is a major minor 7/11 chord or a major minor 7/9/11 chord. We don't say that. We just say the highest number, and it implies that the lower numbers are there. So all of them have a root, a third, a 7th, and an 11th. Whether that third is major or minor depends on if it's a major chord or a minor chord. Whether the chord has a minor 7th or a major 7th depends on if it's a major 7th chord or a minor 7th chord. And whether it has an augmented 11th versus a natural 11th or a perfect 11th is whether it's a major chord has the augmented, because the natural third conflicts with the natural 11th, and then the minor third works well with the natural 11th. So this one has the natural 11. All of these chords can, in theory, have the perfect fifth, though on the guitar we really cannot finger the perfect fifth in with the 11th, hardly ever. And then the major 9th could be added to any of these as well, and so some of these voicings will have that. Let's look at the chord symbol just to help clarify what we're looking at when we see a chord symbol and which one of these 4 we're playing. So with the major 7th chord, we're going to have a chord symbol for a major 7th, and so we're going to have the root like C or F sharp or B flat, something then in front of the 7 because we're going to have a 7, something in front of it telling us it's a major 7th, so like a triangle in front of the 7, and a J, maj, or a capital letter M in front of it. Then we'll just see sharp 11 telling us, oh, that sharp 11 is on the chord. Because the 11th is there, it implies the 9th. If we go 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, we could imply that anything of the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 could be there when we see the 11. Now the difference between these two then, which this one, the dominant 7th has a minor 7th. The 7th is just going to be thrown on. So we're going to have the root and then the 7. Nothing in between the root and the 7 telling us that it's a minor 7th. We don't need that. We only need that when it's a major 7th. So that's why this one has this here, and then the sharp 11 is the same. If we look at the minor chords then, we're going to have the root, and then something telling us it's minor, lowercase m or a minus sign, lowercase m or a minus sign. So F sharp minor, B flat minor, C minor, or B flat minor. Then we're going to have a major 11 when it's going to be a major 7th that's added. So we're going to have that triangle in front of the 11 or the capital M in front of the 11 telling us it's got a major 7th. And then when we have a minor 7th, we just have the 11th thrown on. So these two match with that 11th, but the difference is we need that major when it's a major 7th, and we just have it thrown on when it's a minor 7th. Okay, so there's the chord symbols. Let's play these. Now I'm going to start with this first line and do each type with the root on the 6th string, which is what each of these have. So these voicings are going to correlate and compare to one another, which may help with memorizing them. So the root note is circled, and that note, wherever we've got that positioned along the 6th string, whichever fret we're at, whatever pitch that's at, that's the version that we're going to be playing. So I'm going to demonstrate right at the 6th fret, which is a B flat on the 6th string, sort of in the middle. It's a good place for us to do these. So with this first one, the major 7th with a sharp 11, my middle finger goes on that note, on the root note, which is B flat in this case, 6th fret. And then my index finger, 1 fret lower all the way to the 2nd string. So at the 5th fret, that's the sharp 11. And then ring and pinky 1 fret higher than the root on strings 3 and 4. And then we mute that 5th string, mute the top string. So this one goes root 7, 3, sharp 11. It's a great sounding chord. Now, when it becomes dominant then, a dominant 7th, I got to take my major 7th and lower it by 1. So 2, 3 are both in the 6th fret, pinky is in the 7th fret, and then index is at the 5th fret. Otherwise it's the same. And I'm muting the 5th string, muting the top string. So that's a dominant 7th, or major chord with a minor 7th and the sharp 11. So when we come over to this one then, we're doing the minor major 7th with the 11th added. Compared to this one, there's two differences. We got to flat the 3rd, and we've got to lower that 11th. So middle finger sits right there on that B flat. Then ring finger has to catch the flatted 3rd. So we're on the 3rd string, also at the 6th fret. Pinky is going to catch the natural 7th. They're 1 fret higher than the root on the 4th string. We're muting the 5th string still. And then our index finger reaches down 2 frets lower than the root onto the 2nd string to catch that natural 11th. It's a cool sounding chord. So this goes root 7, flat 3, 11. The difference between the minor major 7th and the minor 11th is whether we're playing a major 7th or a minor 7th. So this one has the minor 7th. In this case, we can take middle finger right there on that root, flat that 7th, so our ring finger will be 6th fret on the 4th string, pinky will be 6th fret on the 3rd string, and then index has to reach down to that natural 11, 2 frets lower on the 2nd string. And of course, we're muting that 5th string and the top string like we have been on all the others. So there's the minor 11th. Now with all of these, to know which version we're playing, it's all about where that root note is placed. So in this case, B flat minor 11. If I go a fret higher, B minor 11, fret higher, C minor 11, C sharp minor 11, D minor 11, D sharp or E flat. If I were to go lower, roots on the 5th string, or the 5th fret on the 6th string, we've got the A minor 11, A flat, G minor 11. So wherever that note is, whatever that root note is on the guitar, using these shapes, that's the version that we're playing. Okay, so we've got a 6th string option. Let's look at a 5th string option. With the 5th string options, we can throw the 9th into the chord. So I mentioned that the 9th can be added. We can choose to mute that string or have the 9th in there with the 11th. Sometimes it's easier to mute the string. Sometimes it's easier to actually just have the 9th in there. We'll see that as we go through these. Now the root for this one is on the 5th string. So whatever note I'm playing there along the neck as I play this shape, that's the version that we're playing. I'll use the 6th fret again. It's a great spot to B, and so this is an E flat. So we're going to be demonstrating these with E flat, or I'm going to be demonstrating these with E flat. So as we start with the major 7th, sharp 11, and then right here sits the 9. My middle finger can go on that E flat, so 6th fret, 5th string. My index finger goes at the 5th fret of the 4th string. Then my ring finger can go on that 9th, so at the 6th fret, 2nd string, and then pinky comes back and catches the 7th at the 7th fret of the 3rd string. Then to catch the 11th, the sharp 11, all that needs to happen is my index finger needs to bar over and catch the top string at the 5th fret. So this has root 3, 7, 9, sharp 11. It's a beautiful sounding chord. If I wanted to, I could just mute that 9th. To do that, it's best if I rearrange my hand, have index at the 1st fret of the 4th, or at the 5th fret of the 4th string, middle finger at the 5th fret of the top string, ring finger at the 6th fret of the 5th string, pinky at the 7th fret of the 3rd string, and then muting the 2nd string. And then I can take that 9th out of the chord. So it's rearranged here with these fingerings. With this one, I just think it sounds beautiful to have that 9th in there too. So either way is just fine. Now, as we move from this one to this, the only difference between these two is the major 7th versus the flatted 7th. So I can take and play with this one, and this is a case where maybe muting that 9th is a little bit easier. But if I played my normal dominant chord there with the 9th, you might not know that, but middle, index, ring, and ring, just barring over. What I've got to do to have this is I've got to have instead of barring, I've got to put my pinky in there. So I have the root, so my middle finger is at the 6th fret on the 5th string, index 5th fret 4th string, ring 6th fret 3rd string, pinky 6th fret 2nd string, and then I've got to bar over with my index finger and catch that sharp 11 on the high string at the 5th fret, the highest string at the 5th fret. Now fitting all 5 fingers in there like that can be a little bit difficult depending on which version you're playing. It's easier down where the frets are a little further apart, but the closer the frets get together, the more it can be hard to try and squeeze all that in. So with this one, you might find it easier to actually mute that 2nd string, and to do that, index goes on the 4th string at the 5th fret, middle goes on the top string at the 5th fret, ring finger goes on the root, 6th fret, 5th string. Pinky goes on the flatted 7th, 6th fret, 3rd string, and we mute the 2nd string. And then you get that nice dominant 11th sound there. So I keep hitting that muted 9. So I got the root, the 3rd, the flatted 7th, the muted 2nd string, and then that sharp 11 there on the top string. So then as we move over minor major 11, I can do this one. This one's going to have a natural 11th and a minor 3rd. So by comparison to my friend here, the major 9 chord really with a sharp 11, or major 7 sharp 11, this could be written in the chord symbol if the 9th was totally desired. It could be written C major 9 sharp 11 or C major 7 sharp 11. It could be written either way. I should mention that here with these ones. Of course, if the 9th is there, then we do need it in the chord. But sometimes we'll read chord symbols written for piano or guitar. What they can do on piano isn't always possible on guitar, because on piano there's one key for each note, and on guitar we have multiple notes on one string, so sometimes we have to pick which ones we're going to play. But the difference here and here is that my index finger is simply down 1 fret. So we start with the middle finger on that E flat, and then I'm going to put my ring finger, 2nd fret, 6th string, and then my pinky is going to go at the 7th fret, 3rd string, and then my index goes down 2 frets lower than the root, and it bars across these 2 strings. So string 4 and string 1, and we get a nice minor major 11 chord with the 9th added. So root, flat 3, 7, 9, 11. I could choose to flat that 9th, but the only way to really probably do it very comfortably with this one would be to just sort of mute it with the finger, because with the bar and everything else, it's going to be hard. So it's nice. Probably going to have that ninth in there unless you want that ring finger to just lightly touch it and mute it. So that's the minor major 11th, and then the minor 11th, the only difference is we got to flat that 7. So we have the middle finger, middle finger, 5th string, 6th fret, and then skipping over a string, we got ring and pinky on the 3rd and 2nd string, also the 6th fret, and then the index finger 2 frets lower, bars, 4th string and 1st string, and we get a minor 7 chord with the 11th. So minor 11. It's also got the 9th in there. We could choose to mute it by lightly touching it with our pinky, but minor 11. And then with these ones, same as the others, it's all about what the root note is. So wherever we're placed, whatever note we're playing here is the version. So E flat minor 11. If I go up a fret, it becomes E minor 11 because this is an E pitch. If I go down to the 3rd fret, it's a C, so C minor 11. If I go up to the 10th, it's a G, so G minor 11. Just right up that chromatic scale. If you need help with bar chords and knowing where these notes are located, I've got quick answer videos on that. Hope you're having fun playing the guitar. These voicings are cool. I use them all the time when playing jazz. I love these sounds. Occasionally they come up in other styles that I play as well, which you could be playing jazz or you could be running into them in other styles. Whatever you're doing, I hope you're enjoying it. Happy to be of service. Take care. We'll see you again. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more in-depth lessons and to progress through a free guitar course, check out my Guitar 101 series on YouTube and my guitar method books, which all come with access to hours of in-depth video lessons. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.